It's kind of a no-brainer to me. We need to build streets where people feel safe walking their kids to school, where people can take a 30-minute walk at the end of the day and not worry about getting run over, not have to breathe polluted air. Houston's out of compliance with 2 federal health-based standards for ozone and particulate matter. Our air is unhealthy, not just bad, it's unhealthy. So when I heard that the Montrose TIRZ wanted to do something about that, I was pretty excited. It made a lot of sense to me. The plan does call for the removal of some trees, which might seem counterintuitive to folks who think that there's a direct correlation between older trees and air quality. Removing some trees in order to make fewer cars on Montrose is a net benefit, but also the trees that will be planted will grow faster. I'm not a tree expert. I talked to an arborist. I walked along Montrose Boulevard with him. He's worked in Westview for 30 years. He's consulting on this project. He went from tree to tree as he developed the plan to decide which ones we could preserve and which ones maybe needed to go because they were unhealthy. They were planted poorly in the 90s by someone without a strategy to water them or prune them. A lot of the trees that are going to be removed are the ones that have these sort of funky Y shapes because CenterPoint keeps pruning them back and pruning them back so they don't interfere with the utility lines. That's always going to happen. These trees are basically just doomed to being murdered over and over and over for the rest of their lives, however long it might be.
As you can see, it's growing directly into the power lines. It's been topped. So this tree has no available growth space to continue to develop and grow larger. You can also see how close it is to the back of curb. And then also that because it's so close to the back of curb, it's been damaged. At one time, this was another branch on the tree. And because it's so close to the back of the curb and this driveway, it appears that a vehicle probably hit it and tore the branch off. And now we're starting to develop a cavity with decay. And trees do not heal, they compartmentalize their wounds. So just an example of one of the trees that is scheduled to be removed on the project. Then directly across from this tree is one of the trees that's scheduled to be preserved on the project. You can obviously see it's significantly larger, growing in a location that's better suited for long-term development of the tree.
Anyone who's been in Montrose knows that it floods. I lived there during Tropical Storm Imelda. I've waded through the stormwater myself with my own feet. They want to fix that. They're going to install these 10 by 10 stormwater culverts, essentially, that can hold stormwater when there's a heavy rain and our systems get overwhelmed. Right now, that water ends up on the street, on the sidewalks, and the curbs, blocking your route, but it's going to be held underground in these boxes, which are as big as my apartment. For me, it's a simple math. Hundreds of new trees planted now will grow for 70 to 80 years versus taking a few dozen away right now that will probably only live for 10, 20, 30 more years. So it's a net gain of tree after tree after tree after tree, plus drainage, plus wider sidewalks, plus safer crosswalks and intersections. So there's a lot of boxes that the project checks. I do get why there's resistance. Why can't we save all the trees? If you've ever gardened, you know you have to weed.